Good evening, Virgo. Um, so something is happening right now in this very moment as you read these words. Something is happening, not slowly, not gradually, not in the way that change usually creeps into a life so quietly you barely notice it until it has already rearranged everything. No, what is moving around you right now has a different quality entirely. It has speed, it has force, it has the unmistakable energy of something that has been held back for a very long time finally being released. And when things that have been held back for that long finally move, they do not tiptoe. They rush, they surge, they arrive with a momentum that can feel all at once thrilling and terrifying and completely overwhelmingly real. I need you to understand something before we go any further. The fact that you stopped here, the fact that something in you paused, something in you leaned in, something in you said, yes, this one, this message, right now, that was not accidental. There are no accidents in the moments that matter. And this moment, I feel with a certainty that is difficult to articulate, is one that matters. The energy surrounding you tonight is unlike anything static or ordinary. It is kinetic. It is alive. It is moving with a purposefulness that suggests something much larger than coincidence is at work in the architecture of your life right now. Let me speak to what I am seeing, what I am feeling in the symbolic landscape around you, because the imagery that keeps coming through is striking in its consistency. I keep seeing the image of a river that has been dammed, held back, contained, prevented from moving in the direction it was always meant to flow. And I see the pressure behind that dam building and building and building, not violently, but with the quiet, relentless, irresistible insistence of water that knows exactly where it is going and is simply waiting for the moment when nothing can stop it anymore. That moment may be now. That dam may be cracking. And the water, your energy, your momentum, your life force that has been compressed and contained and waiting may be about to move faster than you have ever seen it move before. There is an archetype in the symbolic traditions of the ancient world, the lightning bolt, not as destruction, but as revelation, as the sudden, brilliant, clarifying flash that illuminates in an instant what hours of searching in the dark could not find. That is the quality of what feels imminent around you. Not a slow dawn, not a gradual brightening of the horizon, but a flash. A sudden, unexpected, life-altering flash of clarity, of movement, of change that arrives so quickly it may leave you breathless. And the question I want to sit with you in tonight is not whether this change is coming. I believe it may already be in motion, but whether you are ready to receive it without flinching, without retreating, without allowing the sheer speed of it to frighten you back into the stillness you have been living in. Because here is the truth about sudden change that most people are never told. We spend so much of our lives praying for things to shift, aching for the situation to move, exhausting ourselves with the waiting and the wondering and the not yet. And then when the shift finally comes, when the situation finally moves, there can be a paradoxical moment of fear, of almost wanting to reach out and slow it down, of feeling the ground change beneath your feet and instinctively grasping for what was familiar, even if what was familiar was the very thing you were desperate to leave behind. This is not weakness. This is the most human response imaginable. but I want you to be awake to it so that when the speed of this arrives, and I sense it arriving with great intention, you can feel the fear and keep your hands open anyway. Open hands receive. Closed fists, no matter how tightly they grip, only hold what is already there. And what is already there is not the fullness of what is meant for you. What is already there is the waiting room. And something is telling me, something in the energy around you is saying this clearly and without hesitation, that your time in the waiting room may be coming to an end far sooner than your current circumstances would suggest, faster than logic would predict, faster than the people around you might expect, faster perhaps than even you in your most hopeful moments dared to imagine. Let me speak now to the internal dimension of this shift, because the outer movement always begins somewhere inside. There is something changing in you, has been changing in you, quietly, beneath the surface of your daily life, that I believe has been the necessary precondition for everything that may be about to unfold externally. A shift in how you see yourself, a subtle but profound recalibration of what you believe you deserve, what you believe you are capable of, what you believe is actually possible within the boundaries of your one particular life. These internal shifts are invisible to the outside world. They leave no obvious trace, but they are seismic in their implications, because the external world, the situations, the circumstances, the opportunities and the connections and the doors that open or remain closed is exquisitely sensitive to them. As you change inside, the world around you reorganizes itself in response. Not instantly, not always visibly, but with a fidelity that is almost mathematical in its precision. The version of you that believed certain things were not available to them attracted a certain kind of reality. And the version of you that is emerging now, the one that has been forged in whatever difficulty the recent season has brought, the one that is quieter and steadier and somehow more certain of its own worth than the louder version that came before it. That version may be about to encounter a reality that reflects its new frequency back with startling accuracy. The situation you have been watching, waiting on, pouring your energy into the one that has felt stuck, frozen, suspended in an amber of almost but not quite maybe waking up. I feel movement in it that was not there before. A loosening, a quickening, like something that was sleeping has opened one eye and is beginning to remember where it was going. I cannot tell you exactly what form this movement will take, because that is beyond the reach of any honest reading. But the quality of the energy is unmistakable. It is the energy of something whose time has finally, irreversibly come. And I want to speak about the people connected to this situation, because they are part of the story. There may be individuals in your life or on the periphery of it who are themselves feeling a shift, a restlessness, an unexpected urge to act, to reach out, to say the thing they have been holding, to make a move they have been postponing. The energy that is moving around you is not contained only within you. It radiates, it touches the people and the situations in your orbit. And some of those people may find themselves in the coming days and weeks doing things that surprise even themselves, moving toward you or toward resolution or toward honesty in ways that feel sudden from the outside, but have actually been building in the unseen world for a very long time. This is the nature of sudden change. It only appears sudden from the surface. Beneath the surface, it has been assembling itself with great patience and great care, piece by piece, conversation by conversation, shift by shift, until the moment when enough pieces were in place that the whole thing could finally move. You are at that moment. The pieces are in place. The assembly is complete. And what looked from the outside like nothing happening, like stagnation, like delay, like the universe being indifferent to your situation, was actually the final stages of a construction so precise and so intentional that it required every single piece to be exactly right before it could begin to move. It is beginning to move. I also want to say something about fear, because I think it would be dishonest to speak about sudden change without acknowledging the fear that tends to accompany it. Even good change, especially good change, can arrive with a shadow of anxiety attached to it. The shadow that whispers, what if it doesn't last? What if I'm not ready? What if I misread this and it falls apart? What if the other shoe drops? That voice is not your wisdom. That voice is the accumulated scar tissue of every time things didn't work out the way you hoped. It is trying to protect you, but it may be protecting you from the very thing you have been waiting for. And I want you, as this unfolds, to be able to distinguish between the voice of genuine discernment and the voice of old fear dressed up as caution. They feel different if you are willing to slow down enough to feel them. Genuine discernment feels grounded, clear, specific. Old fear feels contracted, global, catastrophizing. Learn to know the difference and let only one of them guide your choices in the days ahead, because the days ahead may require you to move, may require you to say yes to something before you feel fully ready, may require you to step into a space that is larger than the one you have been occupying before you have had time to convince yourself that you belong there. Belonging is not a feeling that precedes the step. It is a feeling that follows it. You will not feel ready and then move. You will move, and the feeling of readiness will arrive in the motion itself. The way balance is found not by standing still, but by walking. Walk, then. When the moment comes, and I sense it coming with a speed that may genuinely surprise you, walk toward it, not recklessly, not without discernment, but with the full weight of everything you have learned in the season you are leaving behind. Carry that learning with you like a lantern. Let it illuminate the path without slowing your step, and trust in whatever way trust is available to you, in whatever form faith takes in your particular life, that the speed of this is not something to be afraid of. It is something to be grateful for. It is the universe responding to your readiness with a directness and a swiftness that says simply yes. Finally, it is time. You have waited long enough. The situation has been still long enough. And whatever is about to shift, whatever is about to move, whatever sudden and unexpected change may be forming in the space between where you are and where you are going, it is moving faster than you think. It is closer than it looks. And it may be exactly, precisely, completely what you have been holding space for through every difficult moment of this season. Stay present, stay open, Stay anchored in the knowledge of your own worth and your own readiness, even on the days when that knowledge feels thin. And if this reading found you tonight, if something here struck a chord that resonated somewhere, true and deep trust, that resonance, it is not random. None of this is random. Subscribe and stay close, because what is unfolding in your energy right now is a story in motion, and the next message may arrive at exactly the moment you need it most. Don't miss what comes next. It may be the confirmation you have been waiting for.